Hi, Austin students. Welcome to week 5. Our topic this week is focusing on lab stuff. So I think you'll really enjoy it. We get to spend both of our days in the lab this week. We'll be learning about tools that scientists use, and we'll be practicing using those. And then the second day, we're going to talk a lot about measurement and how to do measurements precisely and accurately. That's something that is a super important skill for scientists, but also just for everyday Americans. It's important to know how to measure things well. You'll use it in your adult life, and often you use them in your jobs. But we're not good at them just automatically. We're not good at measuring. It really does take a lot of practice. So you might be pretty good at measuring, but you can always get better. I've been doing it for years and years and years, and I still think I can get better. So make sure you're putting in some effort this week to really practice that measurement and get that skill honed. All right, so on our Schoology page, right now we've got the Nearpod lesson and the podcast assignment in this video. Go there too. Nothing new here. I mean, it's a new lesson, but you get to it the same way you always have, and the podcast is the same as it has been for the past 2 weeks. One thing that you might not notice is different. I have changed the podcast summary report slightly because I need to know what week you're working on. So if you're trying to use an old form that maybe you've saved somewhere, delete that old form and come here to access the form because it's been slightly changed. All right, I'm going to head over to OneNote now so we can look at those pages. Okay, on our graph analysis page, we've got an interesting graph again. This time it's about fires. So I'm not going to talk about it here because I have made a little audio recording right on the page that you can listen to that tells you a little bit about the graph and how I would like you to think about it as you're analyzing it. In our pages on the right, we have 2 notes pages this week, but not a lot for you to do in them except for reading them. So let's go first to Tools of a Scientist. Here are, I think it's 14 tools that we'll look at in the lab. And we'll talk about the names of those tools and what they're used for. You'll fill this out during the lab. Notes 2, there's not a lot for you to actually do, although you will have to fill out what's in this purple box. But I do want you to spend time here. There's tons of fantastic information on this page about how to do accurate measuring, whether you're doing mass or length or volume, and it talks about volume of a liquid and volume of solids, 2 different kinds of solids. Didn't mean to make that so big, but I've also included videos about all of that stuff. So please take some time to look through all of that. I'm going to give you that assignment to do overnight, Monday night, but if you look at it ahead of time, that's great. All right, I think you saw my cat there for a minute. He wants to help. All right, processing activity 2 is a lab activity. We will do this together in the lab. You and your partner will work on it. Processing activity 2, you may be familiar with metric conversions using the sentence, King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk. That's what part 1 is about, and in case you forgot how to do that, I know you did go over it at IJ, but it's been a while, so I have a video here where I'm talking about how to do it. And then don't forget there's a processing part 2 down at the bottom, and I've included another little audio that explains this activity. So you're going to make some measurements at home with a tape measure that I plan to give you. All right, there's also a checklist for week 5 as usual, and then on the day that we do measurement practice, this is where you're going to fill out your information. That will be a lab activity. All right. I think that's it, guys. It's going to be a fun week. We really have a good time working in the lab, so I'm looking forward to it. And we'll see you this week. Take care.